Hey Finders, and welcome back to Fortune Finds. Today I'm going to be putting the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Nourishing Foundation to the test. We're going to wear her for a good 8 to 10 hours today. This is not a first impressions. I have rocked this foundation quite a few times, but never in an extended period. So the longest time that I've worn her for, I believe, has been like 4 hours, and my skin at that 4-hour mark has looked really dewy and fresh and natural and just like juicy and delicious and hydrated. But it makes me curious to see what this would look like 8 hours in. Will I look like an oily mess? Will I look like a disgusting water slide slip of a face? I'm not so sure, but I figured we could all figure it out together. This is a really lightweight foundation, so if you are someone that is more medium to full coverage, this is not going to be your vibe. This is very, very light. I almost didn't believe that this was a foundation for a second. I kept calling it skin milk, but it does say nourishing foundation on here. This is made with coconut milk and aloe extract. This is vegan, and it's supposed to be like a clean, feel good, good for your skin kind of foundation. And it feels really nice on the skin. We're going to determine by the end of this whether this is worth it or not. I am uploading 2 to 3 times a week. So if you want to be in the know, make sure you're subscribed and click the bell. And let's hop right into it. It's beautiful out today. It's the first day in like 2 weeks. I feel like that it hasn't rained. So Mike and I are going to frolic today. So I wanted to wear this while we frolic, do a full day wear test. To get away with a less coverage kind of product, I really nurture, pamper, and take care of my skin prior. This way my skin looks the best that it possibly can because I'm not relying on that makeup to cover up anything that I need to be covered up. I washed my face using my soy face cleanser while I was in the shower. This will kind of grip onto the dry patches of your skin. So today I exfoliated using the Dermalogica Micro Daily Exfoliant Mad Hippie Vitamin C Serum. I love a vitamin C serum. It really brightens your skin. My skin is going to poke through because it is such light coverage. So now I do need to go ahead, and because I'm going to be going outside, I definitely want to put some sunscreen on. Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer Sunscreen with an SPF of 30. What I do is I will take a really small pea size of this. We'll just start here. You can always add more. It's harder to take away than it is to build up. Rub it between my fingers and really thin it out. This is how I make sunscreen work for me. Otherwise, sunscreen makes me break out. When you thin it out like this, I find that you use a lot less product, so it doesn't clog your pores as much. This does not have sunscreen in it. I really wish that it did. That would make it like an even easier, breezier product because you wouldn't have to do this step. I would just throw some serum on and then put the skin milk on, but that is not the circumstance with this. And you can put a sunscreen on over top if you use a sunscreen setting spray. The Kate Somerville one is really good, and I also recently just got a Kiehl one that was really, really good. And I'm gonna bring it down the neck. Belief Moisturizing Eye Balm. Rub it on my eye area really gently, tapping. Just because this is such a really lightweight, minimal coverage kind of product, I do not recommend using this with a damp beauty sponge because the sponge is really gonna absorb the product and make it even more sheer. So I would highly suggest applying this with your fingers or with a flat foundation brush. I will do one side of my face with my fingers, one side of my face with a brush so you guys can see the difference. You do have to use a decent amount. I mean, preference, people, though, preference. Like, I get a lot of comments like, you caked your face, and it's like, no, I just like a little bit more coverage sometimes. And then other times I get comments where it's like, you didn't use enough. It's like, well, that's just what I wanted to use. So I'm gonna take about this much. I'm gonna rub it between my fingers again. And I'm just gonna apply it to the skin. It really blurs my pores in here as opposed to this side where I haven't done anything. And it also does take away a little bit of that redness as opposed to this side, but it doesn't take away a lot. You're gonna look like yourself, you know? You're gonna see your freckles, you're gonna see any redness underneath, but it's just gonna give you like a light filter over it. And this really smells like corn chips. It really, really smells like tortilla chips. It really makes me miss Jose Tejas, really miss Jose Tejas, really miss a good margarita. One day, hopefully soon we'll be able to go back to life as we once knew it. And then anywhere where I like a little bit more coverage, I'll take a little bit and just pat it into the skin. A patting motion, whether it's with a sponge or a brush, that tends to pack a little bit more pigment than a stripping, swiping motion. If you're gonna use this with a brush, just make sure that you take your time to really buff out any streaks. This is the face. with just the skin milk on. And I would say we used about like 3 pea-sized amounts. Okay, let's go ahead and conceal. I'm gonna take my Shiseido Syncro Skin Concealer just because I don't want to use a lot of concealer. I feel like using a lot of concealer is gonna defeat the purpose of testing out this light coverage foundation. So I'm gonna use this one because I can only use a little bit, otherwise it gets cakey. And that's all that I'm gonna put, which might look like a lot, but for me, it's not a lot. I'm gonna take my Sephora 57 concealer brush, and then I'm just gonna take what's ever left and brush it over my lid. Ardell Glamtouring highlighting and contouring stick. If things can't glide across my face seamlessly because of a new foundation, then I'm not gonna use that foundation, because why would I go out and buy all new products when I love these products? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love this contouring stick, you guys know. So if it doesn't get along with my favorite contouring stick, then it's gotta go. And I'm using the brush, the foundation brush, to help blend out the contour, because this brush is already primed with that foundation. So it's gonna blend everything out a little bit more seamlessly, a little bit smoother. And then I'm gonna take this little nose contour brush and just blend my nose contour out. My quarantine goals include learning how to contour my nose better, because I suck at contouring my nose, and learn how to French braid my hair. Both have not gone well for me. What are some of your quarantining goals? But it's also because I could take more time. I could be a little bit more patient with my nose contour, but I'm not. Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. This should come as no surprise. And I'm gonna add this wherever I don't wanna get oily, which is really in the center of my face. Okay, I'm gonna take this sponge and I'm just gonna pat a little bit of that powder over the bronzer, because I really want to use this blush today. This is the Jouer blush Bouquet and Adore, and I just find like it takes away my foundation if I don't powder first. So I'm going to go in with this really pretty peachy tone right here on this nice fluffy brush. Golden Gal bronzer. Oh, and I think I just like put way too much on, but that's okay. Eyelash curler. And then for mascara today, I'm going to be using a recent favorite of mine. This is the Honest Beauty mascara. The primer is really great, and normally I find that primers can be kind of like hit or miss. A lot of the time they can show up really white and then it's hard to cover them, but I just use the littlest amount with this one and it covers up pretty well. Okay, so that's the primer on, and then I'm going to move on to the other side of the wand. I'm going to put some on the bottom lashes. Look at how doll-like those lashes are. So good. Okay, Kokie lip liner in the shade Dusty Rose. Lipstick Queen. And it looks blue in the tube. But watch, it is magic. It is magical. It goes on like a berry. Isn't that wild? All right, guys, and let's spray her for some good luck. Of course, Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I'm just gonna let my skin do the highlighting talking today. I'm not gonna apply any highlighter, and let's just see how beautiful and glistening we can get. This plays really nicely with my other products. I think my contour went on beautifully. The powder settled really nicely, and although I powdered my face, it's still really dewy looking. The only thing I'm gonna say is, I don't know if you can see right here, but it's kind of like sitting over my troubled areas. I have very patchy, dry, irritated, like rashy skin here, so it's kind of sitting up top. I'm going to be checking in with you guys throughout the day. I'm going to be outside in natural lighting. I'm going to be up close and personal with my vlog camera, so you guys will definitely see the details very shortly. I'm going to go about my day, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Here we are at the 2-hour check-in. I'm sitting outside in direct sunlight, and I just wanted to show you how glistening and dewy my skin looks, but it looks great. It doesn't look greasy. It doesn't look dewy. We are very up close, so you can see my texture. However, I feel like this foundation gives a really nice dew and a really nice glow, and this glow really distracts the eye from looking at the texture. I find that in real life, from a distance, I look really glowy, I look really dewy, I look really youthful. If you were to come look at my skin under a microscope, or just be as close as this camera is right now, you can see my texture. You can see the texture around my mouth. I always have that texture though, and I find that this dewy foundation doesn't emphasize it. It gives me a light filter. I look like myself, but better. And then here we are at the 4-hour check-in. I wanted to bring you guys inside so that I wasn't in direct sunlight, to give you some more lighting. The difference in lighting can make all the difference. So I find that this looks best outside in direct sunlight. That sun really picks up the dewiness and makes my skin glow. While inside, my skin still looks glowy. It still looks youthful. When it's not catching the light, it just doesn't look as great. It's not really settling in my fine lines, which is always an exciting and happy thing for me. I love that, especially with dewy products.
Is this thing on?
It's on.
All right, what am I asking?
I have a question.
I mean, what am I answering?
What do you think about my foundation today?
I like it.
Why do you like it though?
I like the consistency of it. It's not like...
What do we like about
it
the
doesn't look
consistency
cakey.
of it?
It looks very smooth and shimmery.
And shimmery, right?
Yeah.
Smooth and shimmery? Okay.
Does that help?
A light coverage. You see like a light coverage?
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't look like there's too much makeup on my face.
No, it's not
It's
cakey
like a
at all.
light.
Yeah, I describe it as cakey. It's not cakey.
It's not cakey.
Right.
And you know your makeup descriptions pretty well.
I feel like I have a good track record.
And I've been wearing this for 4.5 hours now.
4.5 years.
4.5 years. That's what it feels like. What day is it?
We are 5.5 hours in. My skin looks really good. I'm dewy, I'm glistening. I feel like it looks really nice. This is natural lighting, so hopefully you can really get in there. I could have done a better job blending, but I was in a rush, and natural lighting always likes to tell you your mishaps. Hello, this is the skin. I love it. I'm a big fan, aside from the fact that it smells like tortilla chips. Not loving that. We are 9 hours into this wear test. I'm tired and I'm ready to take my makeup off and put some nice juicy moisturizer on my face. I have a lot to say about this without having to say too much about this. So first and foremost, I'm just gonna give you the facts. I have not touched up my face. I have not powdered. I have not done anything. The only thing that I've done is my lips throughout this entire day. I have not touched the rest of my face. So my skin looks really nice. It looks really dewy. As you can see, I have a nice sheen. I don't look too greasy. I don't look like an oil slick, but I have a nice dew going on and it's really pretty. Kind of collected on my chin and gathered and gripped onto the dry patches that I have on my chin and just the overall texture that I typically have on my chin. I do want to say that for such a dewy product, it really did not collect in my fine lines too bad. Just a quick and friendly reminder, if you were wondering about the Shiseido concealer still, which I don't know why you would be because we've gone over this so many times, it has dissipated from underneath my eyes. Do not buy. This concealer is not worth $30. Anyway, getting back to our Skin Milk Nourishing Foundation, because that's what we're here to talk about. So my forehead doesn't look great, but again, it did kind of move into my creases in my forehead, but it's not that bad. The product is kind of gone from right here, and I think that's because it's not a foundation where it's like you touch it and it moves the whole thing and the whole thing comes off, but it will wear away if you keep touching your face. So I was outside today, I was leaning like this, Mike and I were talking, I kept going like this, and the foundation has seemingly left this part of my face. It's a lot of my skin, so it's a little bit blotchy there. And this side a little bit too, but not as bad. So I have to say it looks really good in my T-zone, which for me is kind of shocking because that's where I get oily the quickest. It took 6 hours to start moving on me, and I have very dry skin. So if you have more oil on your skin, it's really gonna mix in with that oil and it's gonna move a lot quicker. So if you have oily skin, I hate to say it, I wouldn't recommend this. And then I think if you have dry skin, I highly recommend exfoliating because as you can see, it does grab onto any texture. So make sure you're exfoliating, get rid of that dead skin before you go ahead and put this on. Otherwise, it's just gonna grab it and make a mess. But overall, I went into this thinking like this will be just something fun to throw over my face. This won't replace my everyday foundation, but this will be a nice thing to have in the warmer summer months when I'm not packing my makeup on. I just need a little bit light coverage. So for that purpose, and that is how I went into this, this has met my expectations and I will be using this summer. I'm very excited to keep trying it. Every time I open this, I really want to go to Jose Tejas or like Chilango's, and I just want to have a shrimp fajita with nachos and guac and salsa, and it's just like I can't have those things right now. So, and also just I don't want my face to smell like tortilla chips, so that is kind of a downer for me. But other than that, that's really it. So I hope that this was informative. I hope that you took away what you hoped to take away from this video. Leave me some love in the comments. You heard all about my feelings, the pros and cons of what I think about this. Let me know what you took away from this foundation wear test. If you own this, let me know. What do you like about this? What do you dislike about this? I would love to hear your thoughts sound off in the comment section down below. And again, if you are not yet subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. I would love to have you. I hope that you guys will join me again. I had a great time as always. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, Finders.